Today, we are delving into a crucial stage of childhood development, the preschool years. We're going to explore the expected growth, developmental milestones, and essential health promotion strategies for children aged 3 to 6, drawing from the perspectives of Pediatric Nursing, Chapter 5, Health Promotion of Preschoolers. Joining me is Rachel, who will guide us through this important information.
It's a fascinating period, Jake, because preschoolers undergo such rapid changes. Physically, we see them moving away from the toddler's unsteady gait and protruding abdomen. They develop a more graceful upright posture. In terms of growth, preschoolers typically gain about 2 to 3 kilograms or 4.5 to 6.5 pounds annually. Height-wise, they grow roughly 6.4 to 9 centimeters or 2.5 to 3.5 inches each year.
So steady but noticeable growth. What does that translate to in average height and weight for each year during this phase?
For a 3-year-old, the average weight is around 14.5 kilograms or 32 pounds, with an average height of 95 centimeters or 37.5 inches. By 4, they are typically 16.5 kilograms or 36.5 pounds and 103 centimeters or 40.5 inches tall. A 5-year-old usually weighs 18.5 kilograms or 41 pounds and stands about 110 centimeters or 43.5 inches.
That paints a clear picture of their physical progression. Beyond the physical, what about their motor skills? How do gross and fine motor skills evolve during these years?
Their motor skills improve dramatically. Gross motor skills involve larger movements powered by increased muscle strength and balance. For instance, a 3-year-old can ride a tricycle, stand on one foot for a few seconds, and jump off a bottom step. By 4, they are catching a large ball and can serve themselves food with supervision. 5-year-olds are hopping or skipping on one foot and throwing a ball overhead.
And for fine motor skills, which involve more precise hand and finger movements?
Fine motor skills show significant advancement. A 3-year-old can string beads, put on some clothes independently, and use as a fork. They can also copy a circle if demonstrated and build a tower with 9 to 10 blocks. 4-year-olds can unbutton some buttons and hold a crayon or pencil correctly. By 5, they are buttoning some buttons, lacing their shoes, and even writing some letters of their name.
It's impressive how quickly these abilities develop. Moving to cognitive development, the source mentions Piaget's pre-operational phase. Can you elaborate on what that means for preschoolers?
Certainly. Preschoolers are in the pre-operational phase, transitioning from pre-conceptual thought to intuitive thought around age 4, which lasts until about age 7. This means they move from totally egocentric thinking to a budding social awareness, starting to consider other viewpoints. However, they still often make judgments based on visual appearances, not always logic.
Visual appearances over logic. That seems to explain some classic preschooler behaviors. What are some specific variations in their thinking during this time?
They exhibit magical thinking, believing their thoughts are powerful and can cause events. There's animism, where they ascribe lifelike qualities to inanimate objects. Centration is also common, meaning they focus on one aspect of a situation rather than considering all alternatives. For example, if a child is offered a large cookie broken into 2 pieces, they might think they have more cookie than their sibling who has one whole large cookie because they see 2 pieces.
That makes perfect sense. And how does their understanding of time develop?
They begin to grasp the sequence of daily events. It's best to explain time to them in relation to an event, like after lunch or before bedtime, rather than specific clock times. By the end of this period, their comprehension of time-oriented words improves significantly.
So tying time to concrete actions is key. What about language development during these years?
Their vocabulary expands dramatically to over 2,100 words by age 5. 3- and 4-year-olds speak in sentences of 3 to 4 words, and by 4 to 5 years, it's 4 to 5 words. Language becomes their primary way to communicate, and they enjoy talking, imitating new words proficiently, and naming familiar objects and family members.
This leads us to psychosocial development. Erickson's stage of initiative versus guilt seems central here. How does that manifest?
Preschoolers become energetic learners. They want to initiate activities and try new things.
Guilt can arise when they feel they've misbehaved or can't accomplish a task. It's vital for parents to guide them towards activities within their capabilities and set clear limits.
And how does their moral development progress, according to Kohlberg?
From 2 to 4 years, their moral judgment is basic, driven by whether an action leads to reward or punishment. By 4 to 6 years, they primarily act to satisfy personal needs, but they are also beginning to understand concepts of justice and fairness.
That's a significant shift in motivation. How does their body image change, and what social developments are typical?
They start recognizing differences in appearance and identifying what's considered acceptable. By age 5, they begin comparing themselves to peers. Their poor understanding of anatomy makes things like injections frightening, which is why they often believe bandages fix everything. Socially, they generally have less stranger and separation anxiety than toddlers, and tolerate changes in routine better, though imaginary fears can develop. Pretend play is crucial. It helps them distinguish reality from fantasy.
It sounds like play is not just fun, but incredibly important developmentally. What kind of age-appropriate activities are best?
Absolutely. Play shifts from parallel play, where they play alongside others, to associative play, where there's cooperation, though it's not highly organized. Activities like playing ball, putting puzzles together, riding tricycles, pretend and dress-up play, role-playing, hand puppets, painting, simple sewing, and reading books are all excellent. Things like wading pools, sandboxes, skating, computer programs, musical toys, and electronic games are also suitable.
That's a comprehensive list. Let's move to health promotion. What are the key immunization recommendations for this age group according to the CDC?
For 4 to 6-year-olds, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends the diphtheria and tetanus, toxoids and pertussis or DTaP vaccine, measles, mumps and rubella or MMR, varicella, and inactivated poliovirus or IPV. For all preschoolers aged 3 to 6 years, a yearly seasonal influenza vaccine is advised, which can be inactivated influenza vaccine or the live attenuated nasal spray. And of course, caregivers should follow current CDC recommendations for the COVID-19 vaccine for this age group.
Immunizations are critical. What about nutrition for preschoolers?
Mildly active preschoolers need about 1,200 to 1,400 calories daily. Finicky eating can persist, but by age 5, they're often more willing to try new foods. They need 13 to 19 grams of protein daily, which is about 2 to 4 ounce equivalents, plus 700 to 1,000 milligrams of calcium and 19 to 25 grams of fiber. Total fat should account for 30% of their caloric intake over several days. Given concerns about childhood obesity, what framework does the American Academy of Pediatrics recommend?
They recommend the 5-2-1-0 framework. This stands for 5 servings of fruits and vegetables daily, 2 hours or less of screen time, 0 sugar-sweetened beverages, and 1 hour of physical activity per day. It's a clear guide for promoting healthy habits.
That's a very actionable framework. Moving to sleep and rest, how much sleep do preschoolers need and what are common sleep challenges?
On average, they need about 12 hours of sleep daily and infrequently take daytime naps. Sleep disturbances are common, ranging from difficulty going to bed to night terrors. Consistent bedtime routines, using a nightlight, providing a favorite toy, and offering water by the bed can help. It's important to reassure them if they're frightened, but discourage sleeping with parents and ignore attention-seeking behaviors.
Consistency and boundaries are key there. What about dental health?
By the start of the preschool years, all deciduous or primary teeth have erupted. To prevent cavities, parents should assist and supervise brushing and flossing. Trauma to teeth is fairly common, and any injury should be evaluated by a dentist promptly.
Lastly, injury prevention is crucial for this active age group. What are the main areas of concern?
We focus on bodily harm, burns, drowning, and motor vehicle injuries. For bodily harm, firearms must be locked away, children should be taught stranger safety, and they need to wear protective equipment, like helmets. They are less prone to falls due to improved motor skills, but vigilance is still important. For burns, hot water thermostats should be set below 49 degrees Celsius or 120 Fahrenheit. Working smoke detectors are essential, and sunscreen is a must outdoors.
And drowning risks?
Preschoolers should never be left unattended in bathtubs and require close supervision near any body of water. Teaching them to swim is also a key preventative measure. Finally, for motor vehicle injuries, they should use a federally approved car restraint, transitioning from a forward-facing car seat to a booster seat when outgrown. The recommendation is to use an approved restraint system until they reach 145 centimeters, or 4 feet 9 inches, or are 8 to 12 years old, always in the back seat.
What about pedestrian safety as they become more independent?
Pedestrian safety rules are vital. Teach them to stand back from the curb when waiting to cross and to look left, then right, then left again before crossing. If there are no sidewalks, they should walk on the left, facing traffic. And at night, light-colored clothing with fluorescent materials helps them be seen.
That's a lot of critical information for anyone caring for preschoolers, from their unique cognitive phases to essential safety measures. Thank you, Rachel, for walking us through these important developmental and health promotion aspects for preschoolers from Perspectives of Pediatric Nursing, Chapter 5.
It was my pleasure, Jake.
If you found this discussion insightful, share this episode with someone who would benefit from understanding preschooler development and health.